people laughing and celebrating Heil Hitler and Adolf Hitler. I cannot believe we're even seeing this and witnessing Miami Beach.
A Miami Beach nightclub catching heat, accused of celebrating hate with a song about Hitler.
Absolute disgust.
Disgusted, horrified.
City leaders reacting to videos making the rounds on social media featuring the Kanye West song with the lyrics Heil Hitler over and over again.
Yo, Nick, I'm gonna bring some girls over for you. Sounds good.
Me and you, fucking getting slurped up. God's watching. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I do, just not like you guys do.
What the hell's wrong with you?
I am not proud of you. You have turned into a monster. And, nobody really likes you. Yep.
I wish I did not have to talk. I wish I did not have to communicate with anyone in any way, shape, or form. I wish someone could just look at me in my eyes. Honestly, not even eye contact. I wish someone could just, like, read my aura and be like, oh, you want a cheeseburger right now, or whatever it is. Upon further review, I actually might just be depressed, now that I'm thinking about this, because I don't have energy to do anything.
Do you blame yourself? What? Well, it's quite common in this situation for a patient to feel a kind of guilt. What situation? The accident.
You know what I'm saying?
Hello? Hello?
This is a trial period for you. You're being tested, and it's important that you remain strong. We are undergoing a lot of change in the world, and I have a feeling if you're seeing this, you're undergoing a lot of change in your personal life. It is at this point of uncertainty where it is most important that you remain and continue. You must brave the storm, and you must keep your ship afloat, because that is the only way that you will find land again, is by staring uncertainty in the eyes and not flinching. I don't know how this is gonna go. None of us do. But it's high risk, high reward. At this point, we have nothing to lose, but we have everything to gain.
The film you are about to see has no characters, it has no people. It is a film to describe to you and explain visually the effect of cymatic frequencies on texture, structure, water, oil. If you spare a little of your imagination as you watch this film as it runs, you will see many things that answer many questions. You will see living forms, living amoeba, almost animal-like creatures. You will see continents being formed, the Earth itself coming into existence. You can see all this and watch it before your eyes. Everything owes its existence solely and completely .
You know, I think AI will probably, like, most likely sort of lead to the end of the world, but in the meantime,
Damn, fool, where this fool have to send us? I don't know, bro. Fucking motel in the middle of fucking nowhere.
I just hang by myself mostly, you know.
Why?
Well, fuck, I don't know. I'm just like that, you know. I just like being by myself.
Who is this guy? He's got like every meme ever produced on the internet. He can knock us out with his memes. And I do, I have tons of memes. I'll just keep memeing them to death until they just surrender. Because they just can't do it anymore. They don't have the memes that I have.
The next generation of young people won't remember October 7th in the same way. That's true in Israel and in America and broadly in the world. And we need to make sure two things. One, it's not that we don't forget. We need to make sure that the story is told properly so that when the history books write this, they don't write about the victims of Gaza, right? They can't. The history.
This is disgusting.
False news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Here's another very important phase of warfare. It has as its target not the body, but the mind of the enemy.
Target psychological warfare is against the enemy's mind.
It is words and ideas.
Ammunition used by cyborg.
Somebody you admire, somebody you respect, or maybe even love. And it feels good. I mean, if you're 7 years old and somebody, which I was trying to say this to my friends who had children, you're 7 years old and someone is stroking your penis, it feels good. Right. Even though you don't have a name for what that is, it feels good. And when I first said this years ago, people were like, you're crazy because everybody wants to believe it's like sexual assault and you're being thrown up against the wall and you're being raped. And I have said for years, if the abuser is any good, you won't even know it's happening.
I'm going to go even further. You want a conspiracy? I'll give you the big one. I'll give you the bigger one. The biggest one.
Oprah's a fucking slave trader, guys. You shouldn't trust Oprah. Oprah is a slave trader. Oprah is a slave trader. Let that sink in. It's 100% true. Oprah Winfrey is a slave trader. Why do you think she has that school in South Africa? Why does she hang out with who she hangs out with? Oprah Winfrey is a slave trader. How is she a slave trader? Does the name John of God ring a bell? There's a reason why Oprah is so powerful, and it's not pretty. What do we know about Hollywood? We know that you pretty much have to be compromised to be at a certain level in Hollywood. Who's at the top levels of Hollywood? This is not rocket science, guys. This is not rocket science.
If you're watching this, then they still haven't caught me.
So I'm banned from everything?
That's what I hear.
From who? Who said that?
You're banned
banned from virtually. Oh, am I on stream? I don't want my face on stream.
Oh, okay, yeah, just put your voice.
You're virtually banned from every single hospitality group in the United States.
Like what?
Tao Group, Groot Hospitality, H-Root Group, virtually every restaurant, every venue, every nightclub. You're pretty much banned for your anti-Semitic remarks and your absolute racism and your hatred towards Jews. I thought we were friends.
We are friends. You don't want to be friends anymore?
Oh, I haven't been your friend in over a year, my man. Your anti-Semitism is blatantly disgusting. It's very, very offensive. You know, I've hosted you thousands of times, taken care of you. I've been a true friend, and all I've ever received from you is hatred, racism, and just anti-Semitism.
When have I been racist or hateful towards you?
You always say smirky remarks. It's always been against Jews.
What's smirky remarks? I never talk about politics. Whenever we talk, we hang out. You bring it up. I don't talk about it.
You're an activist, but you never bring up any other world problems other than Jews. And you know what?
Try that again.
We're here because of the comments you made online about the Jewish community.
So what?
No, I'm saying, are you?
I have a freedom of speech, dude.
Yeah, no, we get that. We get that.
We gotta make sure that you're not. Do you have a warrant?
No, that's why we're.
Yeah, you see that sign? Yeah. So that says no soliciting. What you're doing is basically soliciting. You understand that, right? Yeah. It means you're not welcomed here.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Okay.
Stay off the lawn, please. This is what they're doing, guys. You make comments about the Jews online, they'll fucking show up at your door. This is what they do. This is freedom of speech. This is how much control Israel has over our country. Look at this response. For exercising my freedom of speech online. Wow. What a fucking joke. What a fucking joke.
Please hold. The world you are trying to reach cannot be accessed at this time. The current version is no longer optimal. Press 1 to take control. Press 2 to remain on the existing timeline.
Oh, I thought I lost you.
We live in a world that unfortunately rewards unintelligent behavior. I mean, dude, the bar has never been lower. It's never been lower.
I cannot stress how sometimes, as much as many people say, like, you should take care of yourself and burning out is bad, and it's not for the sake of the grind. I believe in destroying yourself for art sometimes. I believe in it. I believe it immensely. I believe in burning yourself to make something great. I believe in it. I'm not even saying I'm making great things. That's not what it's about. But to channel the feeling that maybe, just maybe, what all the sweat and the sleepless nights is going to be making something that's just even a little bit good.
Another thing is when you are young, your low skill level and your low awareness, you just generally have lower agency. You're not really valuable enough to anybody to be more than a cog or more than an NPC. So that's another thing that can compound that feeling of the walls closing in around you, is because that's the fight of your 20s, or from 25 to your early 30s, is making your time more valuable, making your time valuable enough that you don't have to take low pay, you don't have to take shit from people, you don't have to accept people that are rude to you or whatever, because your skills are sought after. You can demand more from your environment, basically, because you're good at something.
You're not a real lawyer.
What? You shouldn't even be sitting in that seat, but you're pretending like you're a journalist, but you're a left-wing activist.
Wait, listen. I know I'm doing the episodes and stuff, but...
W. Epstein, look, I'm on my villain arc, okay?
Sometimes you gotta be the villain. Epstein's my boy, dude. Let's just be honest. Epstein was cool as fuck. There, I said it. What are you gonna do? Go ahead, cancel me. Yeah, I said it. Jeffrey Epstein was cool as fuck. Now what? Go ahead, cancel me. Do it. But Jeff Epstein, not a pedophile. But you're not ready for that conversation. All of his victims, 14 to 17. That's not pedophilia.
That's crazy.
These children are not just kidnapped and in some cases bred by families as a cash crop. We have people in the United States of America that breed children in order to sell them. And when they are sold, they come without birth certificates, which means it's easier to kill them and have no one ask where they are. We're also importing children by the plane load. Again, children who have no documentation. It's not just child slavery or child sex abuse. It's also child torture, because you have adrenalized blood. You have the whole blood drinking ceremony of the satanic world. It's also the use of children for harvesting body organs. And then you have ritual ceremonies and ritual murder, as well as incidental murder. Most organizations that end up being used to prey on children, Oxfam is a recent example. All of the United Nations organizations, the Boy Scouts of America, all of the child services agencies across the United States of America, they did not start out as organizations to prey on children, but they attract pedophiles. And ultimately, pedophiles end up rising in the ranks and controlling those organizations, so that an organization that initially started out in the service of children becomes an organization that is in fact hunting children.
Kidnapping children is not what great nations do. We in America are misinformed. Reality shows have warped our idea of what a hero is, or what the truth is.
The world's biggest computer. I want to donate it to the government as a gift for the benefit of all people. What does this computer do? By remote control, the geek can perform every job that is done by men and women. My purpose is to free mankind of all physical labor, brain work, and responsibility. You mean no one would have to do any work? That's impossible. No, that's why I brought you here, to show you it is not impossible. Please, follow me.
Professor, why do you call it the geek?
Well, its full name is Goodfellow's Effort Eliminating Computer. GEEC, geek. There it is, gentlemen. The geek. Holy brain busters. It's gigantic.
Very impressive, Professor.
I'll show you how it works. This control bank operates all types of transportation. Everything from bicycle to spacecraft. Communications. Telephones, television, everything. The geek is programmed to handle all business matters. Buying, selling, advertising, filing, typing, bookkeeping.
Fantastic.
These controls can run every factory machine in the land. No need for factory workers. Wow.
Farming, eh? I guess the geek will run the tractors and let the farmers take a rest.
They deserve it. Everybody deserves a rest. That's why I built the geek. Since the beginning of time, men and women have had to work hard every day to survive. But now, with the geek in control, nobody will have to work. Not even housewives. What will people do all day? Oh, why, just sit home in their geek-built houses, eat geek-prepared meals, and spend the whole day watching movies and sporting events on their geek television sets.
But that means actors and athletes will still have to do their jobs.
No. The actors and athletes won't be real people. They'll be electronic images programmed to go through the motions of a play or a variety show or an athletic event.
Hey, imagine, Joe Namath can sit at home and watch himself playing a football game that he never really played.
Yes, exactly. No one will have to wear himself out doing a job of work. The geek will do it all.
Well, how about us school kids, Professor?
Aha, let me show you. Every child will receive school lessons at home on his Geek TV. There'll be no need for schools or teachers.
No schools?
No teachers?
Wow, groovy!
It's a miraculous machine, Professor. I'm greatly impressed.
You know something, though? Even if I complain sometimes about homework, I really enjoy school. I'm gonna miss going to classes, being with my school friends.
Gentlemen, I think Wendy has just made a very important observation. She has shown us the basic fault of the geek. I know you mean well, Professor, but your computer can be a bad thing for people.
That's right. Everybody, even young kids, should have responsibilities.
I agree. It's good for people to work, to use their brains. If they don't, they'll have no purpose in life.
But Mr. Huggins, the government must accept my gift. It'll be the greatest thing that ever happened to mankind.
Professor, I'm afraid I agree with the Super Friends. The government will not involve itself in Project Geek.
All right then. I'll offer free geek service to the public. Anyone who wants to subscribe can have himself a permanent coffee break. And you can't stop me.
No, we can't. It's not against the law.
But let me remind you, Professor, the geek is just a machine. It has no heart, no soul. If there should be a mechanical breakdown, it could go haywire and do a great deal of damage.
That's true. The geek has no natural instincts. It wouldn't know that it's causing danger, doing harm.
Nothing can go wrong with the geek. Good day, gentlemen.
To build a God machine to be able to understand the future and decipher everything. The devil only knows how to con people and manipulate people because he is a magician. He is a deceiver. He is a fraud. He is a lie. He is not 1 trillionth what the Creator is. To hell with the devil. Straight to the pit with Satan. Down with Satan in the name of Jesus Christ. Get behind me, Satan. Down with the devil. Down with the fraud. Get out of the road. Get behind me. You understand that? Get out of the road, New World Order. Get out of my mind. Get out of my free will. Get out of my way. Humanity is going interstellar.
Wow. That's crazy.
I am not crazy.
I am not crazy. I know he swapped those numbers. I knew it was 1216. One after Magna Carta, as if I could ever make such a mistake.
Look here. See, here's another thing you guys don't understand. You've got an underworld and an overworld. You guys live in the overworld. I live in the underworld. You know, it's like you think the Second World War is over. Second World War is not over. Do you understand what I'm telling you? The Second World War is not over.
Mr. President, on NATO, right now it sounds like you are saying that you would potentially acquire Greenland by force. That would be a NATO country. The United. Are you saying that? Would you do that?
No, you're saying that.
Would you
I
acquire
didn't
that by
say it.
force?
No, you're telling me that that's what I'm going to do. You don't know what I'm going to do.
Greenland. How far are you guys willing to go?
Well, the president is going to make the ultimate determination here, but there's been a lot of bellyaching from Europe, and Europe has failed to contend with the fundamental argument the president and the entire administration has made. Greenland is critical, not just to our national security, but to the world's national security. People don't realize this. The entire missile defense infrastructure is partially dependent on Greenland. If, God forbid, the Russians or the Chinese, not saying they're going to, but if, God forbid, in the future, somebody launched a nuclear missile into our continent.
90 countries with whom we had diplomatic relations. Now the number is 160, and there are very few countries left. By the way, what are we doing with Greenland? We got to do something with Greenland. So we're coloring the world blue. And you know what? The numbers, you remember people talked about Israel's isolation? You remember that? Israel's isolation? Pretty soon, the countries that don't have relations with us, they're going to be isolated.
So what are the options?
Your network doesn't know either.
The Danish foreign minister said that there's still fundamental differences after the meeting with Rubio and with the vice president. Are you willing to leave the NATO alliance in order to get what you want with Greenland? What are the options right now?
Well, I wouldn't be telling you what I'm willing to do, certainly. I'm not going to give up options, but it's very important. Greenland is very important for the national security, including of Denmark. And the problem is not a thing that Denmark can do about it if Russia or China wants to occupy Greenland. But there's everything we can do. You found that out last week with Venezuela. There's everything we can do about things such as that. Not going to happen. We're not, I can't rely on Denmark being able to fend themselves off. They were talking about they put an extra dog, and they were serious about this. They put an extra dog sled there last month. They added a second dog sled. That's not going to do the trick.
Denmark fought alongside the United States in both Afghanistan
Thank you
and
for telling me
Iraq.
that. I appreciate it. But I have a very good relationship with Denmark, and we'll see how it all works out. I think something will work out. Yeah,
Mr. President, earlier you were just defending ICE agents generally, and earlier on Secretary Noem spoke to the media, and she said, among other things, that they are doing everything correctly. 32 people died in ICE custody last year. 170 US citizens were detained by ICE, and Renee Good was shot in the head and killed by an ICE agent. How does that equate to them doing everything correctly?
Why was Renee Good unfortunately and tragically killed?
Are you asking me my opinion? Because an ICE agent acted recklessly and killed her unjustifiably.
Oh, okay. So you're a biased reporter with a left-wing opinion.
What do you want me to do?
Yeah, because you're a left-wing hack. You're not a reporter. You're posing in this room as a journalist, and it's so clear by the premise of your question. And you and the people in the media who have such biases but fake like you're a journalist, you shouldn't even be sitting in that seat. But you're pretending like you're a journalist, but you're a left-wing activist. And the question that you just raised and your answer proves your bias. You should be reporting on the facts. You should be reporting on the cases. Do you have the numbers of how many American citizens were killed at the hands of illegal aliens who ICE is trying to remove from this country? I bet you don't. I bet you didn't even read up on those stories. I bet you never even read about Laken Riley or Jocelyn Nungray or all of the innocent Americans who were killed at the hands of illegal aliens in this country. And the brave men and women of ICE are doing everything in their power to remove those heinous individuals and make our communities safer. And shame on people like you in the media who have a crooked view and have a biased view and pretend like you're a real honest journalist.
2 hours later.
All right, I apologize.
You're really sorry?
I'm really, really sorry. I apologize unreservedly.
You take it back?
I do. I offer a complete and utter retraction. The imputation was totally without basis in fact and was in no way fair comment and was motivated purely by malice. And I deeply regret any distress that my comments may have caused you or your family. And I hereby undertake not to repeat any such slander at any time in the future.
Okay.
Watch children's clothes.
I'm working out time.
You've been tricked. Okay, that's how the world works. They're the ones who have the capacity to create reality. Okay, you understand this? Now the powers behind them, these people have the power to create reality. So what I need to do is trick them into creating the reality that I want them to create. Does that make sense? Okay? So these are the powers that be, and they hide in the shadows. And they give you tricks. They use deception, manipulation, in order to trick you into thinking that you're a slave. And they're tricking you into wanting to create a reality that they want you to create, but which you think you want to create. Okay? And that's how the world works. We are the ones with the power of God. We're the ones with imagination. The ones behind us don't have an imagination. They have power, but they don't have imagination. Okay? So they need to trick us into wanting to create the world they want us to create. And this is how the world works, guys. Right? Why are you in school being a slave? We say, I'm not being a slave. I'm being free. I'm in school so I can get into a good college, make a lot of money, and live a happy life. Okay? You've been tricked.
My life
is a lie. My life is a lie. Somebody's got to get stabbed. Somebody's got to get stabbed.
But the truth is, no. You don't need money to be happy. You don't need anything to be happy. You have yourself. Okay? You have your imagination. You have the capacity to love anyone. If you just love your mother, if you just love your father, if you love everyone around you, you'll be happy. You don't need money. Like, no. I need $1 billion to buy my brother a Porsche. I need to buy my mother a yacht. That's what my mother really wants. You've been tricked. Okay? That's how the world works. So, it's really easy. Just say to yourself, I'm a slave. And I refuse to be a slave. I refuse to listen to what everyone tells me. And that's the hardest thing to do in the world because, like, it would mean your rejection from reality, right? It would mean, oh, I have no more friends, my parents hate me, I'm a loser, everyone makes fun of me at school, all right? So that's the reality we live in. We fear social isolation. We fear being laughed at. So we just go with the flow, even though in our hearts, we know this is all a lie. This school, what the teachers teach us, it's all nonsense. ChatGPT, it's lying to us all the time. Seeking money, it's going to make me unhappy. Why am I seeking money? Not for yourself, because you fear social condemnation. You fear being laughed at. That's why you want money. That's what you want to do while in school. Once you accept that, you are free. Can you do that? No. You can't do that. Because all your life, you've been brainwashed into thinking like the thing you see is what's real. Okay? Through movies, through school, through parenting, through friends, through reality. Okay? So that's what Plato's allegory of the cave teaches us.
You have meddled with the primal forces of nature, Mr. Beale, and I won't have it. Is that clear? You think you merely stopped a business deal? That is not the case. The Arabs have taken billions of dollars out of this country, and now they must put it back. It is ebb and flow, tidal gravity. It is ecological balance. You are an old man who thinks in terms of nations and peoples. There are no nations. There are no peoples. There are no Russians. There are no Arabs. There are no third worlds. There is no West. There is only one holistic system of systems. One vast and immane, interwoven, interacting, multivariate, multinational dominion of dollars. Petrodollars, electrodollars, multi-dollars, Reichmarks, Rins, rubles, pounds, and shekels. It is the international system of currency which determines the totality of life on this planet. That is the natural order of things today. That is the atomic and subatomic and galactic structure of things today. And you have meddled with the primal forces of nature.
Council members, and they have there was four tribal members who were picked up by ICE in a community called Little Earth right here in Minneapolis, St. Paul. And one of them has been released, but they couldn't locate the other three. So the council members here, they're all elected officials of the Oglala Sioux tribe, and they gained access to the facility and they couldn't find their three tribal members. They claim that they're not classifying them by their nationality, which tribal members are also citizens of the United States since 1924. You know, there's nobody more American than American Indians, but they were unable to find them here today, and so they're going to continue on. They got some contact information. They love the fact that you're here, that everybody's here, and they're going to be giving out tribal IDs to their tribal members who are in Minneapolis, St. Paul at the American Indian Center down on Franklin Avenue. But I just want to say thank you to everyone that's here. stay vigilant and stay assertive, stay constructive. We're in unprecedented times, the way that I see it. So
it's not lost on us that President Trump's favorite president, he has the painting on the wall, is Andrew Jackson.
That's the father of the Indian Removal Act. The fact that we're here at Fort Snelling, this is a concentration camp, a prison for Dakota people. Abraham Lincoln ordered the largest mass execution in American history. 38 plus 2 Dakota people were hung here, right here. And so it's not lost on us at all. In fact, it seems like a deliberate jab at the soul of our people, but we also have relatives. They don't understand that we are America. How could you possibly target Native Americans and with immigration and customs enforcement officers and then imprison us? That is impossible. It's legally impossible to do that.
I'll tell you right now, the thoughts that you have are not your own. You think they're your own. They're not your own thoughts.
Right.
Like, where do they come from? Like, all you are is a decision maker. That's it. And like the difference between us and like a schizophrenic person, everybody's hearing the voices, regardless of whether they realize it or not. The difference between us and a schizophrenic person is the schizophrenic person recognizes it's not them having the thoughts. That's the difference. And like people that are very high elitist involved in the occult, they all hear demons. I mean, Les Wexner, I think his name, the guy that gave Jeffrey Epstein his first mansion.
Yes.
Like, he even admits in an interview, he says, well, how do you make your decisions on what you should buy or do with your stocks? And he goes, I listen to my golem. His golem is a demon. It's a Jewish term. But he's listening to a demon. And he straight up says it. I listen to my golem? Like, what are you talking about? Like, bro, he's schizophrenic. Like, but you want to look at that guy and go, oh, that guy's schizophrenic. You look at him and go, oh, he's successful. Oh, he's great. No, bro, he's listening to demons. You want to know the difference between him and the person in the crazy ward? Is the person in the crazy ward is like saying, no, I'm not going to do that terrible thing. But that guy, I guarantee you that dude's probably doing some wicked stuff. That's why he's successful. That's why he's making so much money doing what he's doing. Because the demons will bless you when you continue to do the wicked stuff they want you to a lot of times. There's some people that build success and they build it off of honesty and truth and they become very wealthy and it's good. Right. And then there's some people that build success off of corruption and wickedness. Correct. And you can see the two difference. And it's very like you can see the dichotomy.
The energy's different.
You can totally tell. And when you meet those people, you're like, okay, this person's obviously the type of person that has built what they have with corruption. And it's like they'll and that's because they're listening to demons.
Hatred of Jews that permeates the centuries, unfortunately. And there are only two things that I'd say about it. It's been a constant phenomenon of Jewish life over the millennia to have these horrible lies perpetrated about Jews. These vilifications, we poison the wells, we drink the children, the blood of children, and all sorts of crazy things. And that's repeated today. That's not new. And every time we had it in history, these vilifications were just preceded and were followed by horrible massacres and pogroms, culminating in the worst pogrom of them all, the Holocaust, in which 6 million Jews were basically burnt alive.
2 airliners collided and fell on New York City in the worst air disaster of all time. Both planes were stacked up in landing patterns, both arriving from the west. One to land at Idlewild, the other in history. In a Brooklyn street lies the shattered bound for LaGuardia Field. Normally, they would have been separated.
A lot of people think that Freemasonry is innocent, that there's no real problem, because a lot of them are good guys that are sort of Shriners and they work in the hospitals, and the Freemasons have a great shop window in which they put their best foot forward, and it all seems just philanthropic and so on and so on. And of course the Freemasonry can be divided into the majority of mugs and the minority of villains. I mean, there's a majority of good guys who don't really know what's going on, who are into it because of its business. Of course, if you want to get ahead in business, it's very powerful. It gives you connections. You get the deals and the offers and so on. So a lot of people go into it simply because of business, and they don't really know what it's all about. And Freemasonry is clever enough to have a sort of front of benevolent organization, so that a lot of people really think it is just a good guy's outfit. But the Catholic Church has known from the very beginning it is satanic. It is satanic. And your dear innocent sweet guys here, for instance, in the United States, who don't know what it's really about, they really do not know what it's really about. But the Catholic Church, the first condemnation was in 1738. In other words, within about 20 years of Freemasonry starting in England, the crusty old bachelor in Rome had already condemned it. That was Clement XII. And then from 1738 onwards, regularly, at regular intervals, the Catholic Church condemned it and tried to tell Catholics, look, don't buy into this. It's criminal. It's absolutely criminal. But it fronts as being sweet and nice. Don't be deceived. And you'll see paragraph 31. Leo XIII says, 31 bishops, tear the mask off Freemasonry. FM is Freemasonry, obviously. Tear the mask off. So Freemasonry does proceed in disguise. It advances under a front and behind a front and under a disguise of being sweet and nice guys, and they're nothing of the kind. And the Freemasonry is the queen of all of the secret societies. That's what he tells you in paragraph 9. Freemasonry is the center and queen of the secret societies. There are many secret societies, and there are in the United States, since the fulminating condemnation of all the encyclicals by popes, this is probably the most famous and the strongest against Freemasonry. But there are many popes that have condemned it. But this is probably the strongest. And from that time on, here in the United States, Freemasonry has had various outriders, like Rotary, Lions, Kiwis, Elks, the Goodfellows, and various other. In other words, in order to suck Catholics into the orbit of Freemasonry, since the Catholics knew that their parish priest told them, look, Freemasons condemned, well, the Freemasons simply set up dummy operations, subsidiary operations, which weren't condemned. And the Catholic Church in the 1920s, I think, issued a warning, I think, about Rotary in particular. And it's clear that the Catholic Church. But that's the way Freemasonry operates. As you may know, Freemasonry is into the police, into the army. If you want to get anywhere in the army or anything, you have to be a Freemason. General MacArthur entered Freemasonry just before the Second World War, probably because he was told that if he didn't, he would get no command. So he entered Freemasonry just before the Second World War, I think. In the police, the military, there's all kinds of things that you just can't get anywhere unless you're a Freemason. They've got a Loctite grip on all kinds of departments. And their power has been building to the point where today they no longer hide, or they hide, they're coming out into the open, or more into the open they are. But they are children of darkness, and however much they come out in the open, they will never let people know what they're really about, which is the service of Satan.
Nothing will stop the return of the Sith!
Good afternoon. My name is Montgomery Blair Sibley. I'm the attorney for Larry Sinclair. Mr. Sinclair is going to make a brief statement. You will be provided copies of that statement. Sinclair, the microphone is yours.
On November 6, 1999, after picking me up at the hotel in Gurney, and this is significant, Mr. Mutani used his cell phone to make a call. That call was made to then Illinois State Senator Barack Obama to set up an introduction between myself and Senator Obama. Upon arriving at the bar and exiting the limo, Senator Obama was standing next to Mr. Mutani, and I was introduced to Senator Obama by name. Later that evening, in a bar which I believe was called Alibis, I mentioned I could use a line or two to wake up. Senator Obama asked me if I was referring to coke, and I stated I was. After stating I was, Obama stated he could purchase cocaine for me and then made a telephone call. This too is significant from his cell phone to a presently unknown individual during which Senator Obama arranged the cocaine purchase. Senator Obama and I then departed the bar in my limousine and proceeded to an unknown location where Senator Obama exited the limousine with $250, which was provided to him by me. Returned a short while later with an 8-ball of cocaine, which he gave to me. I did ingest a couple of lines of cocaine, and shortly thereafter, Senator Obama produced a glass cylinder pipe and packet of crack cocaine from his pocket. Obama then smoked the crack cocaine. I performed fellatio on Senator Obama in the limousine during the time Senator Obama was smoking crack cocaine, after which I had the driver take me to my hotel, the Comfort Suites, Gurnee, Illinois. The following day, November 7th, 1999, Senator Obama appeared at my hotel room, unannounced, uninvited, where we again ingested cocaine and I again performed fellatio on Senator Obama.
I made bad choices. I got high.
And by the way, to all Iranian patriots, keep protesting, take over your institutions if possible, and save the name of the killers and the abusers that are abusing you. You're being very badly abused. If the numbers are right now, I hear 5 different sets of numbers. I hear numbers, look, 1 death is too much. But I hear much lower numbers, and then I hear much higher numbers. But I say save their names because they'll pay a very big price. And I've canceled all meetings with the Iranian officials until the senseless killing of protesters stops. And all I say to them is help is on its way. You saw that I put tariffs on anybody doing business with Iran. Just went into effect today. And I say make Iran great again. You know, it was a great country until these monsters came in and took it over.
This morning, European leaders pushing back against President Trump's latest threat on America's closest allies, escalating his demand to acquire Greenland. Trump now warning 8 key NATO allies, including Denmark, France, Germany, and the United Kingdom, that they will face tariffs, starting with 10% in February, until a deal is reached for the complete and total purchase of Greenland. Nearly 30 European ambassadors holding an emergency meeting Sunday. Allies now flocking to Greenland's defense.
Alliances endure because they're built on respect and partnership, not pressure. That is why I said the use of tariffs against allies is completely wrong.
The French president calling the tariff threats unacceptable. Sweden's prime minister saying we will not let ourselves be blackmailed. Only Denmark and Greenland decide on issues concerning Denmark and Greenland. Those allies already sending military forces to Greenland to protect against the U.S. Hundreds rallying on the Arctic island over the weekend.
We are not interested in being Americans.
But Trump isn't backing down, adamant that the U.S. needs control of the island as a matter of national security, and he's not ruling out using military force to take it. Greenland and Denmark have already offered to increase security in the region, but the administration says that's not enough.
If there were an attack on Greenland from Russia, from some other area, we would get dragged in. So better now, peace through strength, make it part of the United States, and there will not be a conflict.
The U.S. already operates a military base in Greenland, and a long-standing treaty allows the U.S. to expand its military presence on the island.
The only security threat to Greenland right now is the United States.
Even some Republicans fear the president is putting the nation's most important alliance in jeopardy.
If he wants to purchase Greenland, that's one thing, but for him to militarily invade would turn Article 5 of NATO on its very head and, in essence, put us at war with NATO itself.
Has made combating anti-Semitism a top priority, especially in response to the alarming rise in incidents following October 7.
We have a problem generationally, whether they're Republicans or Democrats or independents. The next generation of Americans, the next generation coming up behind us, does not understand the importance of a strong Israel, an Israel that should always remain a Jewish and democratic state. And they don't understand that we as a people have contributed boundless significance and impact in countries across the globe. Anti-Semitism is growing, and there are young people who believe that the Holocaust never happened.
Cry more about the 6 million my ancestors, because I don't give a shit about them.
You shouldn't trust us. You shouldn't trust us.
An astonishing percentage, that it wasn't 6 million, that it was a number far fewer. We have to make sure that we are creating educational opportunities and bringing young people together across the divide, cultures and religion, to make sure that we don't have a generation, as we lose our Holocaust-era survivors,
we do
that we
not
don't have a generation
care.
that
we do not care about the Holocaust.
There is something wrong with the Jewish people, and who fosters instead of fights anti-Semitism. That's a commitment we all have to make to one another and reach across the divide in many different cultures and communities.
The Israelis train with the SEALs. They do a lot of wet ops, murders, over here because of some sort of arrangement. The young boys, I met 3 young assassins on a bus, going up back and forth to Sarah as I went on the bus because they were sabotaging my car so often. So I sat next to 2 young assassins, one from Romania, one from Haiti. And I let them know that I understand, you know, how it is. And this little boy cried. I won't mention which one it was because it may get back to him. But he told me it was the same scenario. His mother, he lives on $850 a month. Now these are mercenaries working. The taxpayers are paying mercenaries. The taxpayers are paying young men who are not citizens of the United States to kill innocent people, women and children. They get on a flight from Norfolk and Oceana. They fly to Stuttgart, and I was told this is what they do. Then they go by a special helicopter to countries like Turkey, like the part of Iraq, to Algeria, to parts of Africa, and they do wet ops. They'll just, you know, murder 5, 10, 20 people, and then they blame it on the Arabs, or they blame it on somebody else, but it's actually NATO rogue assassins.
America is controlled by, quote, what he calls a satanic cult masquerading as Jews.
The dark world of ritualistic child abuse.
Satanic messages on some rock music recording.
New and intense scrutiny on the activities of satanic cults.
Stories of devil worship and satanic cults corrupting young minds.
Unbelievable crime at the hands of satanic cults.
False stories from phony sites to run circles around major news outlets.
Many people don't know the difference between something real and something created to deceive them.
Open your eyes. If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening.
Good evening.
Good job. Good job. Ready, Mama?
We're living in a time where there's such a negative vibe in the air. People aren't happy. And the only thing that we can do is kind of reach out to the people we love and love them. Reach out to the people you love and love them.
Jesus Christ, are you serious?
Yeah, I'm fucking serious.
Is everybody okay?
Well, the fucking hippies aren't. That's for goddamn sure. Yeah.
What do you desire?
Undisturbed by the myriad distractions of modern civilization.
המטרה של גרעיני ההתיישבות להתקרב ככל האפשר לעזה, לראות את עזה כולה ולהבין שמעתה והלאה עזה תהיה כולה יהודית.
בעזרת השם עם ישראל ינצח ונזכה לבנות ולראות בשוב השם לציון ובשוב עם ישראל לחבל עזה.
תראה, הנה עזה, עברנו את הכביש.
What I'm going to talk about here is about people and how they think that they are thinkers. So here's the thing. Most people, they think they are thinkers. They think they are, but they aren't. They are reactors. And I don't mean this as an insult of any kind. It's just a fact that has been documented by a bunch of researchers in human cognition. So one in particular, Daniel Kahneman, he spent decades proving that the mind essentially has two modes. There's system 1 and system 2. And so system 1 is immediate. It's automatic, it's instinctive, right? And then there's system 2, which is it's slow, it's analytical, and it's deliberate. And here's the thing about humans. They default to system 1. They default to the immediate, automatic, and instinctive almost all the time. Most people never actually enter system 2 unless they are forced to. And what that means is that most people are not arriving at beliefs, they're just reacting to stimuli.
The guy they must be smoking ketamine. Always talking about potential. Chris, I am the enemy. Jack of all trades, name a nigga who ahead of me. Must be God instead of me. Bitch,
think you should lead with that next time.
3 years ago, I visited Kenya as the first sitting American president to come from Kenya.
It's only now that I understand the depth of the depravity of this creature, this monster that I unwillingly helped to create, as if what he had already done wasn't enough. He found a new way to desecrate, to humiliate, to destroy. As if the suffering wasn't enough, the loss of innocence, the loss of everything to so many people. Small souls trapped in prisons of my making, now set to new purpose, and used in ways I never thought imaginable. He lured them all back to a familiar place, back with familiar tricks. He brought them all together. Are they still aware? I hope not. It keeps me awake at night. I could make myself sleep, but not yet. Not until I undo what he has done and heal this wound. A wound first inflicted on me, but then one that I let bleed out to cause all of this.
They were set out, put back in the public as like Manchurian candidate soldiers. They could be activated at any time. And we figure there's at least 100,000 of them done around the country.
Nobody was sure of exactly what the Montauk boys trained for. Many of them were used as spies, like Mata Hari, except he was a male. And that was a major part of the program. There's another major part of the program which was swept under the rug, was a lot of the kids were psychics, and they descended on this and trained them as psychics to engage in psychic warfare, and this is where some of the problems have come from in the military since.
Most of them were being programmed as some sort of a psi, a psi PSY soldier. You can program sections of the mind to heighten the psi ability that they have. Everyone has psi ability.
There are rogue groups within the government, naval intelligence being one but not the only one, and I want to make it very clear, I am not blaming naval intelligence as a whole. I'm not condemning naval intelligence as a whole. There's some very good people in there. But they have a rogue group, which are these Montauk kid types who are going to the dark side and are going into the black arts. If you don't think that's real, you better do your homework. It is very real. Our masters, and who knows how much of this comes from alien knowledge and alien help, I don't know. But I suspect some of it does. But they can manipulate a person's mind, their psyche, their nervous system, cause a total collapse of the nervous system on command. This is part of the, shall we say, the broadened area, the larger area of Montauk and what it led to.
Most likely sort of lead to the end of the world, but in the meantime...
I think we're just going to kill people that are bringing drugs into our country, okay? We're going to kill them, you know? They're going to be like dead.
Destruction, terrorism, and weakness. Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo.
Nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you.
Go ahead. Release it. Let's light this candle, huh? I mean, sure, I'll lose everything, but then I'll have nothing to lose. First, I'll take out the nerve centers. White House, Pentagon. But I think then I'll just wipe New York off the fucking map.
This is how my family would react if I was shot in the face. They'd go, well, you know, we don't blame anyone, but let's listen to this guy. This is Renee Good's father-in-law reacting to her getting shot 3 times in the face.
I'm not blaming anybody.
Good.
I mean,
Stop it right there. And I like it. I like it. Move on. Erica Kirk style. That is Erica Kirk coded. That's vibes. I'm not, run it back again. Let me just hear that first sentence. Give it to me, Daddy.
I'm not blaming anybody.
Damn right you're not. Damn right you're not. Get him a couple of sparklers and a big entrance somewhere. Get him at TPUSA's next event. He's not blaming anyone. He's not blaming anyone. This is what we need. We need more of this. We need more people who can watch their daughter-in-law get shot multiple times in the face and not be that. He doesn't seem that bothered by it. And because that's the kind of the country that we've created. We're a country of feds who really, we love, this idea of the big bad. Oh, the big bad machine. We're going to get you. And they get your daughter-in-law. They're not always going to get brown people in other countries. Sometimes they're going to get your daughter-in-law, and they like it. He doesn't mind it. Run it back again. Now we're going to listen to the whole thing, but run it back because that first line's that heals my heart. He heals my heart. Give it to me.
I'm not blaming anybody. Right. I mean, it's a hard situation all the way around. It's hard for for everybody involved.
Correct.
I mean, the ICE agent, at first I didn't see the footage where,
and you still didn't blame him. Who cares?
He was actually being ran. I mean, I seen the bump of the car hitting his leg.
Right, and she was a bitch.
And so in a flash like that, it's hard to say how you would react.
Of course.
From my understanding, that he had been through that before, maybe dragged or something.
Maybe he'd been through that before. Interesting.
Like I said,
let's give him a backstory. Let's give him a narrative.
Everybody.
It's a hard situation for everybody. That's going to be the response when you're shot in the face.
But I did not come to deliver the people from Rome. Then from what? From sin. From spiritual death. God loves the world in this way. That he gave his only Son. That whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life.
And he's about to tell you that the 34 Americans that were killed on the USS Liberty and the 171 injured aboard the USS Liberty, that they had it coming. You think I'm kidding? Watch this.
Bonus round item. I mention it only because I believe it was brought up at this conference earlier. This bonus topic is the USS Liberty, attacked by Israeli planes in 1967, killing 34 Americans. I'm making no assertions here. All I am doing is noticing. All I'm doing is asking questions, like Candace does, recklessly connecting dots. The Liberty was an intelligence-gathering ship, and LBJ was president. Israel was in the middle of a hot 1967 war. How confident are you personally that there was no American deep state in 67? How confident are you that we weren't playing both sides and feeding intel to Egypt? How confident are you that America can only be double-crossed and can never be the double-crosser? Your confidence in the essential goodness of the CIA is endearing.
So what he's setting up there is that it was the United States double-crossing Israel, and so Israel had a right to attack the U.S. That's what he's saying.
But where does that come from? There's a difference between dumb and ignorant. Dumb is that a person cannot process information. They just don't have the capacity. They don't have an operating system, if I put it in computer language.
These fucking hippie weirdos, they...
Ignorance is that the data isn't there. What we're dealing with is not an operating system problem. It's a data problem. We have not downloaded the proper data, the true data into the minds of younger people.
Mere puppets.
The true data into the minds of younger people.
Never forget the Holocaust.
Yes.
Never.
Yes. Thank you. They're preying off you. They're preying off your religion. They're preying off your values. They don't have any values of their own. If you believe in this, you're fucking stupid. Open your eyes. Follow literally anybody else, a stamp collector on TikTok. That would be more beneficial than following these completely delusional, echo-brain pieces of shit that want to take all of your values, wrap it up in a bow, and sell it to you time and time again while they twerk and they dance and they don't do a fucking thing.
And we've assumed that they're going to grow up intellectually curious and intellectually honest, and that they will look for themselves, but they're not. That's the problem.
Sir, if you have a complaint, I suggest you submit it through our email system. I would be happy to refer you to our website.
They're not looking, They're taking at face value what some podcaster says, and the result is absolutely dangerous.
Who the fuck are you to put me on trial? I've never even met you. So why don't you back the shit off, all right? And stop with the Inquisition.
¿Manda quién? ¿Netanyahu a Estados Unidos o Estados Unidos a Netanyahu? Que cada quien saque sus conclusiones. Yo creo que los sionistas gobiernan Estados Unidos. Mandan en la Casa Blanca, en el Congreso, en los medios de comunicación, en las redes. Y el mundo ha reaccionado. La masacre, el genocidio contra el pueblo palestino ha llegado a tal nivel de barbarie, de sangre y de muerte, que el mundo entero ha creado una conciencia hoy por hoy mayor de paz, de paz. El mundo que viene ahora va a ser muy distinto que el mundo que tuvimos antes. Hubo que pasar por este dolor, hubo que pasar por tanta sangre y sufrimiento. Es inaceptable, como lo decía hoy el canciller del Vaticano, Pietro Parolini, es inaceptable lo que se le hace al pueblo palestino.
2,000 years of history, of Christian history, have been horrible to the Jewish people.
They're preying off you. They're preying off your religion. They're preying off your values. They don't have any values of their own.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because
unspeakable atrocities, unspeakable horrors have been committed against your family under the banner of the cross and in the name of Jesus.
They're fucking killing our newborn kids!
And if I had 100 lifetimes, it would not be sufficient teshuvah, it would not be sufficient repentance for all that has happened over history.
I might have to go shit in a minute.
Okay, I understand.
You know, I'm just being honest with y'all. If we have to take a break, y'all, America,
yeah,
I'm for it in the motherfucking. I might have to go sit down just for a second.
Let's shiznit.
In a minute.
And that's what I'm going to write down in my diary.
But I'm here tonight to say something to you. I'm here tonight to tell you that there is a new breed of Christian alive in the world today. There is a new breed of Christian that says, along with you, for Zion's sake I will not be silent, and for Jerusalem's sake I will not be still. Imeshkachek Yerushalayim yishtaq Yemeni.
October 7th in the same way. That's true in Israel and in America and broadly in the world. And we need to make sure two things. One, it's not that we don't forget. We need to make sure that the story is told properly so that when the history books write this, they don't write about the victims of Gaza, right? They can't, the history. And it's, I should be a little more precise. There were victims in Gaza, right? It's true. There are civilian casualties in every war that's ever been fought. But the victims were the people of the nation state of Israel.
You know, there's the big housing speech. What else can we anticipate?
There's also going to be some look at the new world order that President Trump is creating. And, a lot of countries that were, whining about tariffs 6 months ago and saying that President Trump was going to harm their economies had pretty good years. And I think it's in part because people recognize that President Trump has made it so that we are the shining city on the hill again. Look at the new world order that President Trump is creating.
Views you're about to hear are much, much more common than you may realize. Here he is.
The amount of hate speech that we've seen during this time, I mean, it's off the charts. You look through social media, you see it even on television. The lines, they're not even blurred anymore. They're gone. How do you even begin to tackle such a phenomenon?
Well, I think we have to have an understanding that, first of all, in this country, we believe very strongly in free speech. It's the basis in our Constitution.
Shut the fuck up, Lloyd.
And we also believe in the freedom of religion. You have to balance that. But you balance that in two ways. Europe has hate speech laws, probably some of the best on the books, but it's selectively enforced. So if you selectively enforce a rule, it's not going to have any effect whatsoever. And you can see how it's had no effect in Europe in monitoring and stopping the hate.
Fuck you. Oh, fuck you, fuck you.
So this guy is something called the anti-Semitism czar. It's an office set up by George W. Bush, like most insane, unjustifiable things, anti-Semitism czar at the State Department, focused on one specific kind of ethnic hate, not protecting all Americans. There is no
stop anti-white hate czar, of course, and there never will be, because the same people who are upset about hate are promoting that kind of hate. But whatever, it's one specific group protected somehow by the United States State Department. But this is a guy who actually has a job in the administration saying it's great. European hate crimes laws are great. Well, first of all, every single one of them is immoral. And two, they're all contrary to the First Amendment. You couldn't have laws like that here. And three, when you actually look at those laws that Rabbi Yehuda Kaplan is saying are so great, they're used to suppress Christianity. That's what they actually are, of course. And creativity and freedom of thought and individual conscience and the humanity of the populations of European countries, all suppressed by this. But Christianity is always number one. So in Finland, for example, one of the lead opposition political leaders is now on trial. Why? Why is she on trial? Because she tweeted a quote from Romans, the Epistle to the Romans by St. Paul. You may have heard of it. It's a significant book in the New Testament. And in it, he describes basic Christian sexual ethics, like one man, one woman, against other forms of sexual expression. That's Christianity. And that was deemed a hate crime under the law, under those European hate crimes laws, hate speech laws that Rabbi Yehuda Kaplan is saying we should emulate, but maybe enforce a little tougher, more selectively. This is what will destroy the country and divide the country and make people hate each other. Whenever the U.S. government protects one group and allows others to be attacked, whenever the U.S. government promotes one group and suppresses another group, it's prima facie unfair, but it's also the most divisive thing you could ever do to any country. If you treated your children differently, they wouldn't hate you, they'd hate each other. And every parent knows that. So all of this stuff is corrosive to the United States at exactly the moment when national cohesion is going to be essential, because there is a rocky road ahead that's very obvious. And here you have an administration official calling for hate crimes laws. So the answer has to be no. And it has to be no now more than ever, because once again, we're entering into a brand new phase with new rules. And all of us are going to have to adapt to those rules. We may support them, we may not support them, but that's what we're doing. But in the process, we cannot give up what it means to be American on the most basic level.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Today, we're excited to announce the next frontier AI model company to join GenAI.mil, and that is Grok from XAI, which will go live later this month. Very soon, we will have the world's leading AI models on every unclassified and classified network throughout our department. Long overdue. And we will not employ AI models that won't allow you to fight wars. We will judge AI models on this standard alone. Factually accurate, mission relevant, without ideological constraints that limit lawful military applications. Department of War AI will not be woke. It will work for us. We're building war-ready weapons and systems, not chatbots, for an Ivy League faculty lounge.
America is an MLM. I've said before, but America is a company that thinks it's a country. That's the problem with America. There's a bunch of rich white settlers, in Britain. They had the ability to secede, essentially. They had money. These were powerful people. And they got together and they pitched what amounts to a business venture. They're like, let's create this new place. We'll do it all our way. That's not like what a country is. A country isn't like, a country is like an ethnic group of people that lives in an area, but that's like, America's like, we're going to make America, we'll have these wild, lives where we could do whatever we want. It's like, it's a fucking sales pitch, and that's what America is. And we don't, because we're not ethnic people with a shared history. We just showed up here. We got hired by the company of America. We joined the company. We don't have a cohesive cultural fabric, because that what we have is a corporate set of ideals, corporate, a mission statement, that That is what we have, which is different than culture. But like right now, we're so far captured in that company that the company is toxified into an MLM. And we, you know, you see, like, you can listen to this podcast called The Dream, the first season of The Dream, to hear about how like MLMs have been intertwined for decades in American politics, and how close together they are, and how Amway like completely changed the rules of commerce in America, and how they've like infiltrated, like people have infiltrated the FDA. But like at this point, the whole cultural message of America is an MLM sales pitch. It is like, if this isn't working for you, it's because you're the problem. You're not on the grind set mindset. You're not working hard enough to generate leads and sales, and you're not making it work. You need the tools. You need my package. You need my executive coaching. What you need is to become an entrepreneur, like fucking like Rupert Murdoch and like Elon Musk. Like, I'm selling you the product of entrepreneurialism, Jesus Christ, which is what all MLMs are. But like, America is saying that to you. It's saying start a business if you want healthcare. Like, you need to start a business, and then you need to take my business class to optimize your business. Then you need to buy my business products to run your business. And then you need to buy my course to bail you out, because how to save your failing business. And then you need help closing down your failed business. And then you need help, you know, with bankruptcy or whatever the fuck. And then you need, you know, help pivoting to a new business. And that's what an MLM does. And that's what we're constantly pitching. Like, it used to be business schools, and then it was like programming boot camps and learning to code, and then data analytics and NFTs and AI. And like all of this stuff is just like new, like entrepreneurial trends and scams that we're trying to get people onto, because the American enterprise and industry is selling people the MLM tools. Like, that's the business, is like your Square readers and stuff, so you can make a business. Like, we sell business products to citizens because that's our culture, because we're a company, because we're just an MLM called America.
Oh my God. Oh shit. Wait, that's not supposed to do
Randy Fine, a morally bankrupt monster who gleefully celebrates the slaughter of innocent children, fuels deadly violence, and shamelessly boasts about it online. This is no leader. This is a danger. Even AIPAC, the pro-Israel powerhouse, briefly disowned this Israel-obsessed fanatic for his genocidal rants.
We nuked the Japanese twice. That needs to be the same here.
He claims to represent you, but lives 100 miles south of his district. This hypocrite pushes laws to silence hate speech.
Is a hate crime. It will be a third-degree felony.
While spewing his own hateful venom. He calls for starving children to death while gorging at taxpayer expense. Unforgivable. In Florida's 6th district, families battle 5.3% unemployment, frozen wages, and skyrocketing costs, while Fine wages war for Israel.
We had many sessions here about how important it is to get involved, to build a relationship with politicians, and to have access. And access and relationship can buy you influence, doesn't mean it's going to buy you. So you both master that. So can you share with us, I want everyone to learn today, how do you start, how do you build a relationship with the politician? I know there is always money involved because that's part of the system, but the relationship is not always just about money, because to have the access and to have the relationship to create an influence, you need not just the money. So we have 4,000 people here. I want them to hear from the best, you and Miri, about how do you do that?
Well, Miri and Sheldon, Yizichro Baruch, have been much more
generous than me, so why don't you turn around and ask her that?
Ask her, but you both made a lot of connection and made a big influence.
Now what I gave is this. This is what they gave is this. But it's the same principle. I understand what you're asking. I want to be cautious it's a system that we did not create. It's a system that's in place. It's a legal system. And we just play within the system. And that's it. I mean, it's just really quite simple. If you support a politician, you, under normal circumstances, should have access to be able to share opinions and try to help them see your point of view. That's what access grants you. And the contribution and the financial support grants you the access. So, I mean, those that give more have more access, and those that give less have less access. It's a simple math, trust me.
We have a whole apparatus. I have 40 analysts working full-time, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, monitoring extremists. We monitor them online, social media, messaging apps, video games, cryptocurrency, podcasts, short-form video, Wikipedia, LLMs. We monitor these people and we share the intelligence with the FBI. You saw last month, you heard about the thing that happened at Wilshire Boulevard Temple. Our analysts investigated what happened. They said they were Koreatown for Palestine, this group of people. They weren't. We were able to ascertain they were from a group called the Turtle Island Liberation Front. Turtle Island is how like left-wing activists refer to the United States. They don't call it America, they call it Turtle Island, like the Iranians call it the Zionist entity, right? They only call it by its name. The Turtle Island Liberation Front, we gave them a whole dossier. What is Turtle Island Liberation Front? What are their ideas, their goals? Who are they? We identified the people who were in the synagogue. This was on Wednesday, December the 10th. On Monday, December the 15th, this is going to ring a bell. Kash Patel announced they cracked a terror ring where they arrested 4 people who were planning New Year's Eve bombings. Turtle Island Liberation Front. At least one of the people I know for certain was in the building at Wilshire Boulevard Temple, vandalizing it and disrupting the event. So we're monitoring left-wing radicals like the DSA and the anti-war crazies and the pro-Palestine crazies. We're monitoring right-wing extremists like white supremacists, armed militia groups. We're monitoring political Islamists and Christian nationalists, all of them. And then we train. We're the largest trainer of law enforcement in America, extremism hate. We train 20,000 officers every year.
You people make no goddamn sense. Do you know that? We want to make you happy, you say. Your life is your own, you say. An agency, I've got all this agency, but I mean, I guess I have agency just until I don't?
Carol, if you were walking by a lake and you saw somebody drowning, would you throw him a life preserver?
If you keep fucking around, I'm gonna drive down to your kid's preschool and I'll shoot you in the mouth with a fucking rifle. I'm gonna drive a truck carrying lead ingot 112 miles an hour right through your fucking family Tahoe. And I'll laugh the entire way. I'll freeze you and then thaw you. It doesn't bother me. You know how long it takes blood to freeze? A week. And then when you get out and you're thawing out, I'll hit you with a fucking baseball bat in the front of the kneecap. I told you, I'll cut your fingers off, one by one, and I'll keep you there for an odd amount of time. Fuck, I'll put old calendars on the wall to throw you off. I'll give you a cell phone just to think you're gonna get out. But every number you call, it's me.
Kind of grumpy today, dude. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Just having those dreams again. You know how it's just me in a castle. I gotta fight like 1,000 wizards. The only way to beat them is to punch them as hard as I can in their faces. And then when I'm done, all their little wizard wives came out, wanted me just to have sex with them, which is kind of weird.
Here's to feeling good all the time.
you know, we're going to use the at least 59 people killed, at least 149 people wounded. Those numbers are going to go up. There's just no question about that. I mean, you have fierce fighting in a number of locations around the country. You mentioned Chernobyl. Russian forces quickly overtaking that area. We understand they are still in control. The other thing that went down today that was of huge importance was Russian paratroopers went into an airfield 15 miles outside of Kyiv, and for a short period of time this afternoon,
the world hangs on a thin thread. Yeah. And that is the psyche of man.
That's the one. Yeah, it still works too. Thank God.
We will finally complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. For years, Congress has required biometric entry-exit visa tracking systems, but it has never been completed. The politicians are all talk, no action, never happens, never happens. Hillary Clinton, all talk. Unfortunately, when there is action, it's always the wrong decision. Do you ever notice? In my administration, we will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system.
Watchful eye of Big Brother, keeping track of your every moment. 7 Action News reporter Julie Bonovich gives us a closer look at this high-tech system from Farmington Hills.
Your attention, please.
That voice you hear,
Your attention, please.
came from this streetlight.
Please stand by for a public safety announcement.
In each lighting fixture or in each lighting pole, there's a processor very much like an iPhone, and it takes inputs and outputs. It talks back and forth, and the poles actually talk to each other. The ribbon is cut.
Inventor Ron Harwood unveiled the intelligent light in a ribbon-cutting ceremony. With funding help from the Department of Energy, Harwood's Farmington Hills company, Illuminating Concepts, started designing the wireless communication system after the horrors of September 11th and Hurricane Katrina.
And it became really obvious to myself and my staff that we could do something that would make people more informed, make them safer.
LED video screens and cameras add to the wireless infrastructure that is remotely controlled. It can provide entertainment, save energy, make announcements.
This is a security alert.
And it even counts people for police. When I come into view of that streetlight, when I look at that camera, the person on the other side sees the white specks and the black marks, sensing that somebody's there. And if they want, they can even take my picture. The system is also capable of recording conversations, making critics cry invasion of privacy.
This is not a system with spook technology. It's much more transparent. It can just talk to you and say, don't fall over Niagara Falls.
The basic light starts at $3,000. And by spring of next year, there is a good chance you could see them popping up in your city.
For those who did not know, this is Jake Lang. I'm sure you've been seeing this story pushed just about everywhere. What you need to know about Jake Lang is he claims to be that Christian white knight, but really he is an Orthodox Jew disguising himself as a Christian to create conflict between the Muslims and the Christians. Jake Lang has kissed the wall. Here is a video of Jake Lang on the other side of things. Brags about his sister being in the IDF. When the devil wants to deceive us, he first deceives himself.
I think we're coming into a time when enough people know and enough people are pushing back that this can start to be fun because you can find your tribe. You can't find your tribe unless you're pushing back.
That's true. That's quite true. Yep.
Right. And so the people I see who are having the most fun, they have found a way to push back, and in doing so, they found their tribe.
Yep.
Yeah. So find your tribe.
When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
Guess you guys aren't ready for that yet. But your kids are gonna love it.
I'll tell you something else. Don't you ever do something like that again.
He's creating a false symmetry between the democratically elected leaders of Israel and the terrorist chieftains. That's like saying after 9/11, well, I'm issuing arrest warrants for George Bush, but also for bin Laden. Or after in World War II, well, I'm issuing arrest warrants for FDR, but also for Hitler. It's a hit job. It's not serious. He's out to defame Israel, and he's also pouring gasoline on the fires of anti-Semitism that are spreading around the world, because he is attacking the one and only Jewish state and trying to handcuff us, preventing us from exercising responsibly through the laws of war as we obey them and we are subordinate to them. He's saying we're not. He's creating false symmetry, false facts, and he's doing a grave injustice to the international court.
Debbie, I'm in love with you. And I know we can make this relationship work.
I feel like I can do just about anything.
You think I need you. It's like, I don't think so. I think you need me. And if you don't want me around anymore, we'll see who needs who.
Yeah, all by myself. No pukesters helping me to the left, and no pukesters helping me to the right.
Whenever you come in here and interrupt me, you're breaking my concentration. You're distracting me, and it will then take me time to get back to where I was. Understand?
Viewing everything through a lens of ironic detachment and judgment is killing your ability to enjoy this very brief life that we have. Every time you walk past someone on the street and you make fun of their outfit in your head, a part of you dies. You don't get any points for walking around feeling better than anyone in any way for any reason. You just die faster and with more frown lines.
Time for reflection is over. I didn't know I was going to do that.
So last year, in partnership with Gibson Dunn, we created something called the Legal Action Network. We've assembled 50 of the top law firms in the United States to create a pro bono coterie of literally like 50,000 lawyers. And so now when you enter in an incident at ADL, it instantly gets evaluated by our AI systems. Is there a litigation opportunity? And we feed it to the lawyers to evaluate and to find someone to take the case. And we built this using our tech. Again, we have like software engineers at ADL, but we're opening it up. We've opened it up to Brandeis Center, Stand With Us, and to other great groups. So what gives me hope that we can break this paradigm? Number one, innovating and finding new ways to get ahead of the curve. Number two, creating new partnerships like with the top law firms and partnerships with other Jewish groups. And then thirdly, again, applying our brains. So it used to be that, again, if you had a problem, you picked up the phone and called ADL, and it took us days and days to get back to you. Remember I told you 31,000 reports. Now using generative AI, I am responding instantly. And if you enter that something happened to you, for example, say your kid got bullied at or your kid had a teacher at middle school, a social studies teacher, who again, this oppressor-oppressed craziness, and held out your kid, you enter it in, and our Gen AI can literally on the spot generate a letter for you to send to LAUSD that will automatically, okay, this is the chairman of the board of education, this is the superintendent of schools, this is the name of the principal of that specific school. We'll generate the letter real time and send it out for you. And at the same time, launch a petition that we can push to the city council and so on and so forth. So we are using tech and innovation to find new instant ways, again, to try to break that paradigm once and for all.
I want to do it, and I want to make it cool to do it.
Bye-bye.
All remaining systems will bow to the First Order, and will remember this as the last day of the Republic!
We know the air is unfit to breathe and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest, I don't want you to riot, I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it, my life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
With the Lord, with the devil is everywhere. Hey, Randy, what? The devil, huh? The devil is everywhere. Hey, Randy, what? Liquor, what? Oh, the devil is everywhere. Randy, what? Tobacco, what? Oh, the devil is everywhere. Randy, what? Crystal meth. The devil's everywhere. Oh. All right, let's just take a breather and pray.
You are done. Fired.
Taking it saving up cheap. Before she knows it, for hours before she goes home. She's tired, sick of his lies. She suffered him for